Hey, welcome back to another episode of Daddy Issues. Today we got on Max, and this one is about really divorce and depression, how he kind of fell into, a hole, but ended up digging himself out, and he's doing great now. But check it out.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for jumping on.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
So yeah, I don't know if you've listened to any of the episodes that we've done, but it's pretty much just kind of telling your story, just talking a little bit about it, and then any advice. I'll ask you if you have any advice or something for any other dads out there.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Somewhat going through the same thing.
So my name's Max. I'm 38. I finalized my divorce in August of last year, so August of 22. But to step back a little bit, I got married super young. I married my college sweetheart. We started dating when I was about probably 19 or 20. Got married shortly after college, had kids by the time I was 23. I've got 3 kids now, 13, 11, and 7, 2 girls and a boy, who I obviously adore, and I live about 5 minutes away from and see them a ton, which is great. But I had one of those like Facebook perfect type families, like everything looked great on the outside, but my ex and I, we weren't friends anymore, and we were arguing a bunch. And yeah, I mean, she filed for divorce in June of 21.
What led to all that? Like, why? I mean, you guys were college sweethearts and all that, and then you had 3 kids. What led to like the breakdown of your relationship with her?
It was a lack of communication. Looking
Yeah.
back on it, like for sure, we just didn't communicate well. We didn't talk about things that bothered us. We fought about things that bothered us. And I think as we grew into adults, we just grew apart. Like we were very successful, both professionally. We kind of were doing the power couple thing, I guess. I mean, I was a banker. She was working in biopharmaceuticals and pharma, and we just got sucked into our careers and our lives as parents and forgot to focus on our relationship. I think really what it boiled down to. It's easy to say in retrospect, right?
Right.
At the time, like when she filed, I didn't have any. I mean, I knew we were fighting, but I guess I didn't really think about the root cause of the issue. But it was definitely communication, like lack of communication.
Yeah.
So she filed. I went into a very, very dark place for a year and a half. I was like, it's called treatment-resistant situational depression, which basically meant you're fucked. Like medicine's not going to help. It's your situation that's making you depressed.
And did you have to go? I'm assuming, obviously, see a psychiatrist or something to tell you that evaluation.
Oh yeah. I was. And without getting too deep into it, I just, I didn't see the value of living anymore.
Yeah.
My folks split when I was 5. So my whole life I grew up wanting to have a family. Like other kids wanted to be astronauts or scientists or whatever. And I just wanted to be a dad with a family. So I really viewed the divorce as just an absolute personal failure of everything I'd worked for up until that point.
And it was essentially a surprise to you. I mean, looking back, you understand why, but it was just she just filed for divorce. There was no discussion.
It was it was. I mean, we'd been arguing a lot, getting worse and worse, but it definitely was a very sudden, traumatic type thing.
Yeah.
I left the house, went down to Florida to live with some family for about a month. Get my shit straight. Came back to New York, rented a room in a house close to my work, and was frankly I was really depressed for about a year and a half. I was stuck. I just couldn't get out of this spiral. Like I was eating half a sandwich a day, sleeping 2 hours a night, wouldn't go clothes shopping because why would I want to buy new clothes? I just felt so awful about myself, right? And what really pulled me out of it was it was two key decisions. It was making the decision that, okay, I want to live my best life for my kids, and making the decision that I was going to live, I was going to find a way through this. And then the realization that no one was coming to save me but myself.
Right. You're the one who has to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I call it, like, my brother-in-law gave me this great line that I always think of. It's hell in the hallway. It's like when one door closes, another door opens. Sometimes it's just hell in the hallway. And I'm writing a book. I'm going to call it Hell in the Hallway.
Awesome.
I mean, it's a crazy, traumatic experience for anyone who's been through it, and they know what it's like. And for the dads that are in it, I just want to tell them it's going to be okay. You know, it's crazy, but I'm on the other side of it now. I mean, I pulled myself out of it in November last year. I got myself an apartment very close to my kids. I was dreading, I put off the apartment thing for probably 6 months because I was dreading being in an empty apartment with nothing, because I left everything at the house. I walked away, I signed the house over. I didn't want to displace the kids.
Yeah. Now, did you get any time with the kids, or everything was your time was when you went there to see them?
I had my kids on the weekends.
Okay.
And my kids on the weekends.
What about that year and a half gap? Sorry to cut you off. What about that year and a half gap? Were they essentially with the mother?
I had them on the weekends for the year and a half.
Oh, okay.
My elder two daughters, you know, it was, like I said, a really traumatic split. Their relationship was really strained for a while. My son kept coming every weekend, no matter what, which really saved me, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have wanted to be with me either, so I don't blame my daughters for not wanting to come hang. But it's gotten a lot better now that I'm closer and it's, you know, right around the corner.
So it has changed with your daughters, because I'm kind of in a similar situation, and I'm still going through it. I'm 5 years into court, and we're still going through this. But I've seen a change in my oldest daughter, and she just doesn't want to be around, doesn't want to be here, and it's like, it's so painful. But it's like, you know, I love you, you're my kid, you know.
All you can do, man.
Right? Yeah.
Just let them know you're there for them. Girls are tricky, especially once they hit those teenage years anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good to hear that yours turned around, because I'm hoping mine will.
It will,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep at it. I mean, listen, my eldest still, like, I was in Barbados with all the kids for a week about a month ago, and I think I cracked one smile out of her the whole time, right? But she's also 13, right?
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter just turned 13 too, so.
Yeah. Well, that's the age, man. Yeah. You know, everyone says they come back around. I mean, it's always a work in progress. All I can do is be there for her. She knows I'll always be there for her. And yeah, no, it's as much of her as I can. She's still she's a cranky teenager no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
was there any drama between you and your ex with, like, going through court or any? I mean, I know you said you signed the house over and that kind of seemed pretty smooth.
It was. Listen, I spent a year begging for her to take me back. Another 6 months getting over her. Like, I'm good now. I'm dating. I'm patting way out of my league. I'm doing great. But having a great time. You know, my ex, to her credit, never let the divorce dynamic interfere with the co-parenting dynamic.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
She's never once used that as a tool. Like, she's a remarkable person. Like, she's, you know, we may never be best friends again, but, like, we're getting to the point where we're friendly, we're civil. Like,
yeah, so you can actually have a conversation with her in the same room with the kids, and
yeah.
That's important, especially to the kids.
Dude, there was a long time where that was not the case.
Right.
I mean, you know, up until signing, like, I would say it wasn't the case, but that was on me. I mean, I was the one who was holding on to that.
Yeah.
That broken plate, you know, trying to glue it back together.
Yeah.
Good luck gluing back together a broken plate. But yeah, now we're in a really good spot. Like, I wish her the best. You know, it's obviously zero all the time whenever I pick up and drop off the kids. Always be there for her. You know, I just want to see her happy. I mean, I've spent half my life with her, so.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm in a really good spot now. I mean, like, that's the message that I really want to send. That's why I did this, is for the dads who are in the shit, just don't see themselves ever being happy again. Don't see themselves ever being with another woman again. Don't see themselves buying new clothes, because why would they? Like, it gets better. Like,
I mean, you really hit that depression spot. Like you were on the edge. Like you went all the way.
dude, no, I was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did not want to. I didn't see. I mean, it was crazy. It's
Yeah.
awful. And like when they say it's a mental illness, like it clouds everything. It changed. Like I'm a type A go getter. I'm a career guy. I was a banker for 15 years. I'm in industry now. Like I'm a hustler, you know. But that just it saps everything out of you, where it turns you into a different person. Like I can't even. A year ago this time, I was a different person.
Yeah, and essentially that was because of the relationship, losing the family. It wasn't any stress from your ex being like, you can't see the kids or blah, blah, blah. You know,
No.
she wasn't fighting you for any of that. It was more of you lost your family. Shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a sense of failure. It was a sense of losing everything I worked for. I mean, home, family, you know. It's, as everyone going through knows, it's not fun hitting reset on your life at any point in your life, no matter how old you are. But yeah, I was in a really, really bad spot, but I made it through, and listen, with the kids in Barbados last month, I was in Jamaica last week. I'm going to Miami in 3 weeks, planning out April travel. Like I'm living my best life, and
That's
it's
awesome.
possible.
Are you
know.
still seeing a therapist for this, or are you're pretty good
Yeah,
now?
no. I'm no longer prescribed medication, which I'm happy about. And I check in with my therapist maybe once a month, just like a 30-minute check-in.
Yeah.
Um, and just making sure I'm still in a good spot. It's really just check-ins, just.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, a very important thing for me when I was going through my stuff, I was so frustrated, so angry, but men don't really talk about their feelings. They don't really talk to anybody about it. They kind of keep it bottled up.
Yeah.
The reason why I started the podcast, because I was so frustrated, but as soon as I started like talking about my story and releasing it almost, I guess, I felt so much better, and it was just like a huge release for me.
Absolutely. That's why I'm writing the book, man.
Yeah.
I started this Facebook group for divorced parents living their best lives, because all these other Facebook groups for divorce are so depressing, and like
Yeah.
it's hard to post positivity out there because you've been in the shit and everyone is going through this shit. So you don't want to be like the guy, hey, I'm in Jamaica.
Right.
From Cliffs, right? Like, but yeah, no, writing about it, like I'm big into writing. I like talking about it. It's, it's therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
You get it through your system and just help other dads. I mean, that's what I want to do.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks, man. Of course. Thanks for having me.
And your advice for other dads out there would kind of just be like, if you need to see a therapist or go, don't be afraid to talk to anybody or.
Yeah, it's go to therapy. It's reach out to your buddies. Don't go into a hole. Like, you obviously lose a lot of friends because they're all friends of the family, right? But like the dudes are still there. And even though the women are usually the social ones putting together the play dates or the weekend outings or whatever, like the dudes are there for you and they want to hear from you. And you can definitely go into a hole for a year and a half. Like I did that. I was really good at it. But it doesn't help. Like it doesn't have to be a year and a half,
And were you still good with her family? Because I know you said her brother-in-law gave you a quote.
So it was my half brother. So unfortunately, yeah, I was remarkably close with her family and haven't really seen them in the last couple of years. I hope to fix that, but that's in the works. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, you're still fairly young, so I think it'll be a couple more years or something, and it'll all just, you guys will be great friends, and it is what it is.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm wishing the best. Think about him a lot, but yeah, it just takes time for all that to sort itself out.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me, man.